The one that I'm going into is The Last of Us.
Ah, starting strong.
Oh, wait,
Ooh.
hang on. Alrighty, hello everyone and welcome. I am your host Kamilian, and I am here with we're gonna say people. Let's say two friends. I'm pretty sure one of them is a ditto in human form. I don't know who is who, but I do know their names, and in no particular order. We have Joey, Mitch, and Tegan. And tonight we are here to talk about our unpopular opinions of popular games.
Which we
So
have
with
many.
that, I choose Mitch's tribute.
Fair enough. Just so you know, for tonight, since we've gone over it multiple times before, I will not be jumping onto the one that Ian likes, which is Halo Wars. I will be staying clear of that.
Fair.
Ooh.
But I will be jumping onto another one which I know he likes that I could not get into.
Bear with me while I just delete this entire rebuttal. This 2-page rebuttal. Just gonna keep going.
Yeah. The one that I'm going into is The Last of Us.
Ah, starting strong.
Oh, wait,
Ooh.
hang on a minute. You don't like The Last of Us.
No, the pacing was off, in
Oh,
my
yeah,
opinion.
done. Ah,
He's gone.
Well, with him gone,
hate
it's much
Mitchell now.
easier to talk.
Ah,
But
yes.
yes, the
Share your
pacing
opinion.
was off in my liking. The story I found was actually rather basic and has been rewatched in quite a few insert end of the world style movies here. And it essentially felt like they had taken the same mechanics from the Uncharted series and added zombies.
Well,
If I may interject, all racing games, all arcade fighting games, including Super Smash Brothers, all Mario games, all Sonic games, FIFA, all sport games, most shooters.
If you're trying to point out things that have very similar gameplay to other things, then I would agree with you, but most of them actually have some kind of twist to the mechanics that makes it interesting.
FIFA!
I find boring.
Anyway, I don't know what I'm gobsmacked. I don't. You're talking about the first one or both?
Honestly,
You're about the Last of Us franchise or
I'm just pointing at the franchise.
okay. I realize we're talking about an R18 game with Joey present, so I'll leave some of the details out of it.
to be fair, Joey has not played that game.
Yeah. In short, Joey, what Mitchell is saying he doesn't like is arguably one of, if not the best story-driven game. Period.
Mm.
And he's wrong.
He's wrong. You're just wrong.
He's entitled to his opinion. It's fine, but he's wrong. No. Okay. So
I'll
is
I agree
admit,
with Fred
I
Mr.
also
Kami.
yeah, I also came off of a much better zombie apocalypse game just a bare year ago, which was the season 1 of the Walking Dead Telltale series. For story-based play, at least. I felt the interactions between characters were much more in depth in that, given that it was a different type of game, and
I just say it's hard to get a proper full-on in-depth, I guess, relationship, for lack of better terminology, between characters when the characters you meet tend to die not 30 minutes later. Hard to build that up.
the majority of the characters survived not just through that series, but all the way through. Yes, there were options in them where one would die off each time, but the core party which they majorly built on continued through.
I think you've misunderstood. I'm saying it's hard for The Last of Us to
Ah,
build the relationships that you're praising the Telltale series for, when these characters either go, "Nah, I'm done with you, off your fuck," or um, or they just die pretty soon after
I
meeting them.
so I actually really love The Last of Us. I really do. And I know that we've had conversations with Ren before about the ending and why he didn't like it, which we can actually talk about tonight because Matt's not here. Um, so
And
we can
he's
actually
not watching because my little number hasn't gone up. So,
no, he's currently on a plane.
Yep.
um, but I actually disagree with you, Cami. What I think they did really well was build. So even though I'm agreeing with you against Rem, I
no, I
disagree
no
with
no
you
no.
with Dwight.
I'm not saying that there is no character building. There is. I love the level of building they did in such a short amount of time because it's
I'm
so
so
realistic.
attached to those characters so quickly.
Yeah, the level of
Yeah,
emotion they can build in that time frame,
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Especially the opening scene. The opening
Oh my
scene of
god!
the first game will remain the best opener
Right in
of
the
a video
feels. Right in
story.
the feels.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. That was insane.
Mitch, tell us more. We've kind of taken over your segment. Tell us more.
Yeah.
You said like you didn't
well,
like the pacing, or you felt like the gameplay was
well,
very reminiscent of that of the Uncharted
I
series.
had continued to explain it after you'd had your fit
Tangent.
and run off. But what I'd said is essentially pacing was off for me. The story felt rather basic, and
On a strange way.
the yeah, and essentially, yeah, it felt like Uncharted had zombies.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um,
See, I can't comment on that because I actually haven't played Uncharted.
neither have I, which is why I'm kind of struggling here. I know there's a lot more platforming involved in Uncharted. Um,
Mm. Yeah, but any of the base sneak arounds are
I would
essentially step for step like The Last of Us.
the one thing I would disagree on based on videos I've watched around
Mm.
this kind of thing when people talk up certain games, like, hey, these games are the greatest of all time kind of thing, and then they talk about The Last of Us or Uncharted or insert many other games here based on who's talking, right? And
Mm.
and one of the things I see all the time, or used to when it was still anyway, was uh Nathan Drake. Is that the right
Yeah,
name?
for Uncharted.
Yeah. Yeah. I get flack for that alone. It's not knowing his name. Um
Oh, the hate.
I know, right? The apparently his death count, his kill count is stupidly high for that type of story. You know, I mean, who would go into that kind of thing and just blast hundreds, if not thousands of people? Hey Ginger, how are you? Sorry, Ginger's just
Oh, good.
resubbed, and he has said, unpopular opinion, I'm still here. Thank you for that, my friend. Really appreciate it. But I mean, in Uncharted, right, you kill hundreds of people, thousands if not, right?
Mm.
I mean, thousands is exaggerating, but I mean, the kill count that you've seen is just ridiculously high. Whereas in The Last of Us, you're counting bullets, you're ducking, weaving, you're running from enemies, or just trying to stealth around them, or trying to avoid them altogether. It's not just I'm going to attack
Yeah,
everything. And then you've got a
though I
different
will
strategy for
freely,
human versus infected. Like you've got the
yeah, I
mix up
will
there.
freely admit though that I also find essentially everyone in the Last of Us game to be complete morons.
It is a post-apocalyptic world where everyone's trying to fend for themselves. And might I point out that people suck. people are idiots. Like, look at
Yeah,
the real world today. We're not going to talk about the real world because that's not what we're here for. But people are idiots. We all know someone. We go, they're an idiot, right?
yeah. Well,
Um, I mean, look
well,
at
let me put it. Yeah, let me put it this way: the doctors shouldn't have had to essentially taken out her brain to save the world. But if, say, for some reason the anatomy in this world is completely different to require such a thing, then even in that case, one girl versus the entire human race.
This is the the opinion we had last
and
night.
that is why it's such a compelling story because as the player, we weren't given that
No, it's
choice.
not.
As the
Do you
player,
think
we weren't given the choice.
do
We
you think,
had to,
Ram, it would have been better if the player was given the choice to choose one way or the other, like a pick your own adventure?
Yes.
and that's a
And I
big
think the
argument.
vast majority of people would have let her die to save the entire fucking world.
Ginger's on your side, by the way, Mitch.
How many times do you press the button? It's that comes down to that moral, ethical question, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
look, the
Yeah. But that's the thing. The doctors were saying definite cure. We have to kill her to get it, though.
that's the thing. What you're saying is a very valid and big argument that people had against The Last of Us Part Two. That there was no, we couldn't control the narrative. We had to go down that path. We had to play as Abby. We had to do all this stuff that we didn't want to do. My argument is we're playing their story. We're playing a highly driven narrative, and the only way you can get such a beautiful story is if you are taken along for the ride.
Mm,
Look at
I agree.
Pokemon right now as an example. It is open world. It is glorious. We can go hunt Pokemon where we want. How good's the story? Where is it? Like, I'm finding very lackluster story in the current Pokemon games versus the Pokemon of old,
Well,
right?
can I
Because
ask? Sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
cut
no,
you
no,
off.
go for
Kami's got a point. Lots of games you are prescribed to a story that you can't have any
it.
control over. So, is your issue the story itself or that type of game?
I found the story itself not able to hold up to. I believe I had a lot of the hype that people had beforehand, and I essentially looked at it and went, I can tell exactly what's going to happen. I can predict point to point what is going on in this story because it has happened dozens upon dozens of times before with other stories.
Yeah, that's like going into any horror movie, going, they're gonna die, she's gonna die, he's gonna die. Don't go into that bathroom. Go into the bathroom. He's in the shower. There we go. He's in the shower. So you shut the door. He's behind you. He's in the shower. It's. I mean, you look. Um.
Yes, but they
Yeah.
did not. They did not change any of the expectations. They did not change things up in that much of a feasible way. It's just you
My
had the same zombie types as you find just about any other game.
my argument against that would be Halo. How many cliches did they throw into the first Halo game, and yet stuck the landing?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They knew how to make them work together. I don't think that they work together that well in The Last of Us.
Disagree. To keep it simple.
I found it to be, yeah, essentially insert post apocalypse here, insert zombies here. Now, this is the story that you've heard play out 1,000 times before.
Oh, dear. And just for the reference, I mean, not everyone right here can see the chat, but everyone watching the stream can because it's going up the side. Ginger has said Halo is better than The Last of Us. But then again, a potato is better than The Last of Us. So we know where Ginger stands on this argument.
Wow.
Hmm.
Um, Look, I was very anti Sony for years, purely, really admitting this, like purely because my parents bought my sister and I an Xbox. We went from a Sega Mega Drive 2
You were a simp for the Xbox.
to an Xbox purely because that's what our parents bought us. And then Halo came with it, and I to this day love Halo. One of my favorite franchises, and it took me a long time to get into the Sony mindset. Well, not mindset, but it took a long time for Sony to get my buy-in. Right? I had a PS2 way back when, and I had Sly Raccoon on it. Love Sly Raccoon, but still didn't have the buy-in. Skipped PS3 altogether because I did not care. I bought a PS4. Why? Only to get Final Fantasy VII Remake. And then I bought some other games. Won some other games as well. And then I kind of I right now love a lot of the games on Sony. Love them to bits. Taken Sony a long time to get my buy-in. They've earned it. And one of the games that was a big driving force in that push was The Last of Us.
Fair enough.
See, I've been a Sony fan since I was younger than Joey. Because my first gaming console was Commodore 64. I used to borrow Segas and stuff, but with the first console we owned was PlayStation 1, original PlayStation 1. And we had the chip that read the illegal copied games as well. So, I was the most popular kid in Australia having that. I mean, we don't do things illegal. Shush. Joey, cover your ears.
Okay, Mum, they're covered.
Yeah, good boy.
It's covered
But-
with.
Headphones.
Well done, Joey.
So, but I know that you've always had that. Oh, Sony's not the greatest, and I was surprised with how much love you showed The Last of Us.
No, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But look, looking at it objectively, if you don't have the buy-in, if you don't go in, well, not if you don't go in with an open mind. That's poor to say because I mean, people go with an open mind and coming out not liking it. If you, I don't know, because I have to this day have never played Uncharted. I have all of them because I won them all, and I still haven't touched them. I know, blasphemy, kill me, don't kill me. But having never played all of them, I don't have that, I guess, prefacing gameplay to compare it to. So for me, it was all new, all different, and the story was just, for me, stupidly rich coming from what I'd been playing.
I guess that my main problem was that I didn't come into The Last of Us right near the opening. I came into it a while afterwards, and I'd heard all of the hype, all of the stuff going, this is the best of this and the greatest storytelling and all that kind of stuff. So I came into it expecting a masterpiece and essentially just went, what, this is it?
I can relate to that because
Yeah.
I
I fully admit it could actually be a good game. It's just the hype killed it for me.
yeah. So what you're saying is it could potentially fall into the Multiverse of Madness category for you, as in overhyped. Good game, but overhyped. Or does this fall into the She-Hulk category of overhyped and crap?
I think that it could potentially be a good game, but it was overhyped, and that kind of made it link up in my brain with all of the previous bad games I'd played. So at this point, it's rooted strongly in the bad game category because of that.
Yep.
And even if I played it now, I could, as an outsider, go, oh yeah, such and such was interesting and all that. But my head would still go, yeah, but you don't enjoy this.
Yeah. Alrighty. For the sake of time, well, firstly, thank you much for sharing that. We know, for those of us, the three of us who have played, we now know where we stand. We know where Ginger stands in the comments. Joey, would you be comfortable showing your first game?
Yes, I do have one thing to add on to The Last of Us.
Yep.
You're all wrong. The best zombie game is old COD Zombies.
I I I
Yeah, I've
can
played
he sleep
that.
outside tonight, Tegan?
Uh, I've played old COD Zombies. It's essentially a rip-off of The Killing Floor.
Ginger's comment. Excuse me, Resident Evil wants a word with you, young man.
To be fair, I've never let him play Resident Evil, so
Yep. Okay, so Joey, mate. By the way, absolute legend stepping at the last second. What is your What's your first game?
Mine is Heroes of the Storm.
Okay,
Hmm.
interesting. Why?
I When I first heard the concept of it, I thought it was a really cool idea of all the characters Blizzard's own as a game. I played it and it just wasn't executed well. I
Okay.
couldn't figure out how to do anything. I had two characters that I could play, and I was playing against people who were level 500.
Sounds pretty similar to any of us who play any MOBAs.
So, but when you started playing Heroes of the Storm, had you played much Dota before that?
Yes.
Okay.
I only played about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. And you saying that the lack of tutorial or just the controls or
Yeah,
just the matchmaking of it?
the lack of tutorial and the matchmaking.
Okay.
so it didn't scale your matchmaking, Joe.
Yeah.
Fair.
I never played it.
I can relate to that because I mean when Mitch and I play, Mitch and I enjoy Heroes of the Storm now and then just as a game to fuck around in. We only ever face bots because it's fun.
Mhm.
I will happily face people in Dota any day of the week as long as I'm having fun. If we lose all the time and the team that we're facing aren't rubbing it in, etc., I will happily play Dota any day of the week because it's fun. Heroes of the Storm, on the other hand, I don't face people because I came across a similar thing to Joey. I'd either be that level, that stupidly high level, facing someone who shouldn't really be playing versus people, right? They'd walk up to you and you'd just kind of attack them and they would just run around in circles, not really knowing what to do. And be a team of them, so you just wipe the floor with them. Or the next match, it would flip you the other way because you've just wiped them. And we go, oh, you're a pro. And then you just get stomped by people who can actually play. But I love personally the concepts of like the level design, the every map having like an individual um what's the word I'm looking for here, Mitch? Gimmick, I guess. Not a gimmick, but its own. I
It
am not
has
thinking
I feel they actually worked rather well in bringing the
objective.
characters across. Like each one did feel unique in its own way.
Well, they had to, right? Because you can't buy items, so each character had blood body feel unique.
Yeah, which they did manage to do. It was just, yeah, unfortunately, their matchmaking services were horrible.
Anything else, Joey?
I also couldn't figure out how to get any of the other characters. When I played, I had two characters, neither of which I knew who they were or what games they were from.
So the rotating cycle of free heroes to play each week.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. The Blizzard, or back then anyway, the Activision Blizzard kind of, hey, give us the monies.
Mm.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. Yeah, look, I'm not a big fan of that myself. The whole rotating free hero thing. It's always why I've preferred Dota. It's why I've played some of the others. I've never touched LOL, to be fair, so I can't really judge that based on experience. But in
I
terms
have.
of
I have.
in terms of LoL, well, in terms of Dota, sorry, every single hero is free. Every single hero is free, and no matter how much money you put into the game, what you can do versus what someone else can do is exactly the same. Whereas in other games, that's not the case.
It's never going to happen, Ginger. I won't allow it.
Hang on. My issue with heroes is anyone I played with wouldn't allow me to play my favorite healer because she wasn't seen as a tier 1 healer.
Ginger
Fair
doesn't
enough.
agree with you, Joey. He loved Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah. Dear.
Yeah,
So-
so having to buy characters is why I don't play Apex anymore, because all the characters I wanted to play, I had to pay for or spend 5 hours playing.
This is
Yeah.
why, as your mother, I really disliked Skylanders.
Yeah.
All of the characters, and of course, he wanted all of the characters, and so I bought him all of the characters. Oh my god, that's a nightmare, and I cannot. I really, actually, really dislike games that do that. That have here are your 3 characters that you can choose from, but if you want to play this better character and actually win or do X, Y, and Z, you have to pay an extra whatever amount on top of the 100 you already spent of the game. Like, fuck off. And it is at that point, it is literally just I want the money, and
Yeah.
that's
That's the thing. There's
especially
only
specifically, sorry to cut you, specifically targeting with Skylanders. They are targeting children.
yep. As it is, there are only 2 ways of the money thing that I will agree with: aesthetics only,
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally fine.
or speeding up an otherwise non-essential thing. Like, for
Elaborate.
instance, if you're like in Warframe, for instance, you can start a weapon building in your forge, but you can keep on playing with the rest of your weapons, and the weapon will be done building in 24 hours. But
See,
you can spend
my
10 credits
gripe
this
with
week
that
or to about
system-
2 cents.
my gripe with that system is why does it take 24 hours in the first place? Again,
Because
it's all about getting the monies.
It's a completely free-to-play game, and they had to get some way to keep the servers open.
So it's essentially a mobile game on a PC.
It
What
is
game
a
are you talking
free-to-play
about, sorry?
piece of Warframe.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it's a completely free-to-play, and it was actually given an award for one of the best integrations of some kind of payment system for a free-to-play game that did not target whales.
No
Because
problem with that. I despise if you want to play this awesome character. A lot of mobile games obviously do it. I don't, and I'm steering clear of talking about mobile games in general because they're all just money grabbers, for the most part. But in games like, as Kami just said, in Dota, you can play any character you want to. If I wanted to have the cool Crystal Maiden skin and the model or whatever it was called, I spent the $40 on it because I wanted it. She was my favorite character, but I didn't need to spend it to play the game. I would have happily have bought a copy of Dota for $100, but it's free anyway. So that's just, the added bonus. But when you've already spent $100 on a game and then you need to spend, I spent upwards of over $1,000 on Skylanders for Joey. Easily, if not more.
Ma'am, on your topic of Skylanders, apparently there are a bunch of YouTubers who are being sponsored and asked not to put the sponsorship in their video, but were being given the more expensive models, and
They go against YouTube's policies. Yeah, exactly. Ginger has just said that's illegal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if you get free content and you're advertising it, you should be saying, hey, by the way, I've been given this stuff. I'm being sponsored. Yeah.
So going back to
That's weird.
Ginger's
Interesting,
point
Joey.
above,
But yeah.
he detests Warframe because it's purposefully made more grindy. See, I actually don't mind grindy games. One of my favorite grindy games of all time is Fable, which can get quite grindy if you want to get, the house and shit.
Yeah.
If you can achieve the same outcome in the game through grinding, I actually don't mind that system. It's when there is no way you can get there unless you put more money into it.
my issue with the grinding
Yes,
is where do you draw the line? Like the big flack on Battlefront 2 was you had to play I forget the exact number internet, so don't drill me for this, but it was somewhere upwards of like 30 to 50 hours to get certain heroes, 100 hours plus to get X amount of them. It was silly. And also, I found personally in Battlefront, I had a similar issue to Joey with the whole matchmaking thing, but we're digressing. We're getting sidetracked here.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're right.
yeah, I brought up a game I liked, and it kind of went off of everything
All
else.
good. So just to confirm, Joey, it was pretty much the matchmaking system putting you against people that were just far. It wasn't balanced. The rotation of heroes when you want to play someone, you've bought the game, you want to play a hero, and they just hiding it behind a money wall, or paywall, unless by chance it comes up as a free character that week. And there was another one you did say. You said that the tutorial, the way they went about it, it was hard to understand, and plus the lack thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. That is fair. I can see all that. I mean, Heroes of the Storm's not my favorite battle arena kind of thing. But yeah, okay, that's fair. Okay. Cool. Anything else you wanted to add, Joey?
No.
No. Okay. Tegan.
He's very matter of fact.
He's just very,
my
very
turn.
stoic.
Yeah. He's like a deer in headlights.
I,
Normally, when he disagrees with you on something, he gets quite animated and yelly in my ear, and he goes all off. You will be happy to know, though, and just before I share my game, our most recent Hear Us Out, where Kami and I disagreed quite strongly, and it got a little bit wordy, and I still apologise for that. Turns out one of my good friends agrees with you, and I kicked him out of my house the other night because of it. So there you go.
I'm clapping your friend. I'm not applauding the fact you kicked them out. I'm applauding your friend.
It coincided with the fact that they were actually leaving. But excuse me.
It was the right move.
Thank you. They were asking me what I was doing this weekend, and I told them I was worried about our next topic, which I won't mention now. And why? And because I really I agreed with Kami last time on Boba Fett, and he just turned around and was like, "Well, yeah, me too. I agree with him, and for the same reasons, the lack of lines, blah blah blah." And I just went, "Get out, fuck off, get out."
I
yeah,
know
I remember
next
that.
fortnight someone's gonna rage hard.
Oh yeah, mate.
You're going to get a glimpse of it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you're going to get a glimpse of it in next Monday's, not tomorrow's, next Monday's Hear Me Out video. Yeah, that's right. Hear Me Out is coming back. Every alternate week, or every alternate fortnight. So Hear Me Out will be on YouTube next week, and you'll get a taste of what I'm going to bring.
I think the next one's going to be worse than the Boba Fett thing.
Oh,
Anyway,
it will be. But anyway, Tegan, what is your first game?
well, I'm not going to lie. I really struggled with this topic because there are many games I don't like. Obviously, I'm sure there are many games all of us don't like, but coming up with the one that other people really, really liked was, I think, the challenge. Because, often I don't like games. I'm really weird with the games that I like and I dislike. So yeah, okay, I like Dota. So people think, oh, well, then you must love LOL and you must love all of the MOBAs. No, that's not the case at all. And people are often surprised because, I've never played Uncharted. I've never played Assassin's Creed. I've never played a lot of the stereotypical popular games. But one that I have never understood in any way, shape, or form is GTA. I have never understood why that game is so popular, why people find it fun. It's fucking pointless to me, the entire game. So, to start it, I am the Sony girl. I grew up with PlayStation 1. I love Need for Speed. Any Need for Speed game, love them. That is my jam. So I suppose when I was growing up, you were either the Need for Speed category or your parents were stupid and didn't monitor you and you were allowed to play GTA. So, but I really struggle. And I think part of it is because,
Oh, webcam.
oh, hello. Um,
Computers fighting back.
I know a lot of parents have let 7, 8, 9-year-olds, sometimes younger. I do know someone that's let their 4, 5-year-old play it, and he runs around making jokes about killing hookers. I wouldn't even let Joey play it, and you know that Joey plays Borderlands, for Christ's sake, and I still would not let him play GTA because
There's a difference between crass, funny humor and that.
right? And I think, games like Borderlands and God of War and the stuff that we do allow him to play, there is that thanks, Ginger. There is that element of removal from reality. This is a fantasy world. Borderlands is a fantasy world, But GTA is just let's go fuck people up because we can. And I just don't get it.
That
And
level of
GTA
it, I
6 television is
100%
very
agree
strong.
with you. And I don't want this to sound like a stereotype, but all the dickheads just come out full dickhead form on all their YouTube channels when they just go around and just fuck people up because they can, right? They just go around and fuck people up in the game because they can, and for some reason it's entertaining to them. And good, I mean, honestly, good on them for doing it in a game. I'd rather them do it in a game than in reality. If you're going to do it in a game. That's fine. Where I think GTA has gotten its popularity from is probably going to be a heavy part in its mods. The level of modding you can do for that game is stupid.
Not just that, it's also the stories you create in the world more than the story that they give you in the world
A
itself.
lot of people roleplay when they get online with friends or just have online communities which literally just roleplay. And going back a step, there's a mod right now which for some reason is all over my bloody Facebook stream, and I just keep going hide, go away because I'm not interested. And it's literally just a mod where you are part of the police, and you've got a laser, and you can clock people's speeds, and you can pull them over. You can call dispatch and all sorts of things with this mod for GTA. And for some reason that's just exploded. But it's
And robbers.
It is the one thing. Well, Need for Speed was Cops and Robbers. It's the one game that often people are like, but you're a gamer. How can you not like it? I'm like, because I really, really don't. And Ginger's point is, oh, surprise, a mum not liking GTA. I hated it way before I was a mum. It's got nothing to do with the fact that I won't let my kids play it. I never got into it. I actually wasn't aware it had a storyline because every time I played it, it didn't appear to have a storyline. But go do whatever you want, whenever you want. And don't get me wrong, I love other games that do that. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite in that sense. But the
Yeah.
concept of it, the storyline being that thug going and no, not my
Yeah.
cup of tea.
I'd say
Just
that has a similar storytelling thing to what Skyrim had, where it was essentially you can
yeah,
do the main storyline,
yeah,
or you can go off and do whatever the fuck you want in the rest of the world.
yeah. And I love Skyrim. I love Skyrim. So
The main story in Skyrim is pretty meh. It's
Yes,
big
it is.
dragon gonna eat world. Go kill big dragon.
Joe, is your mic able to move? Yeah, bring it
Yes.
take closer.
Okay.
yeah. And maybe you don't have to be so shy. You can talk a little bit louder.
Yeah,
Okay.
go nuts, dude. All good
Okay.
here. But what was I gonna
But
say?
again,
Interesting.
sorry, some of it could be so I have not played it in a long time because I've held on to this hatred of it since I was, Joey's age. So some of it could be that how you have nostalgia or you see like through rose tinted glasses. So I've probably not given it a fair chance, especially as older iterations have come out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So rather than seeing it through rose tinted glasses, you've seen it through ship tinted glasses, and that's it.
Correct. Yeah. I'm not willing to give it another chance because it was shit back then.
See, I do have one GTA game, and I bought it because it was stupidly cheap, like $20 when I bought it. It's GTA 4, and wasn't a huge fan. I really wasn't. What I am a fan of are games that take the piss out of those kind of games.
Saints Row.
Love Saints Row the
3.
Third. That's the game I came into that genre, or that not that genre, that franchise in. I have not played Saints 1 or 2.
That's I do remember that. I believe I actually brought you into Saints Row 3 as
100%.
well.
And my very first video on my YouTube channel was it's a cringeworthy video of Saints Row.
The
I've
sad
seen
thing
that,
is,
yeah.
I can remember my very first introduction for you into the game as well. It's okay, Mitchell. So what do I do? Purple dildo to the face.
Your first 3 seconds in that game are in my 100 sub thank you video as my
Mhm.
channel trailer right now on my YouTube page.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. So GTA, look, I see both sides. I personally am on Tegan's side with this. Absolutely not a fan. Absolutely. With all
Something's
the
so wrong. You and I have agreed so far on everything tonight. I'm scared, Kami.
yeah,
I'm getting scared.
I
I'm getting
believe
scared.
that GTA 6 could very well be seriously overhyped. Right, and I see that a lot of comparisons have been made with players between Cyberpunk and GTA 5. Popping tires, for example, bullets splashing water, or down to certain physics. And attention to detail in GTA 5 is next level, and I appreciate that. The game is how old now? And how many updates has it had? I mean, it may not be relevant, it may have been all there on release. I actually don't know. But
Apparently, a lot of it was, but it is still good to see a game company actually keeping their game updated for that period.
the only other franchise that I've seen, or company that I've seen put that much love into a game,
Mute him before he says
Ge-
hello.
yeah, like genuine love into their stuff, is Bungie or 343. I'm not going to go into detail because now's not the right time, because I'm not going to get flack for saying 343 is. But no, they released a really, really average version of the Master Chief Collection. Look at it today. Absolutely superb. They did not stop upgrading that, and they still haven't. Anyway, anything else you'd like to say, Tegan? No? All
Just
GTA'd out?
I'm not going to play it, no matter how much Ginger wants me to.
Yep, no, fair enough. Cool. So my first game is, I'm gonna throw everyone for a fucking loop here. The first game that I'm gonna put on this list, which I am not really a fan of right now.
He's going to say Halo.
Hashtag worth it.
I just had to drag him out. Yeah, it's Halo Infinite.
Wow.
Damn, I was right.
Not a fan. Don't get me wrong. The graphics had a big upgrade. The gameplay felt fluid. You felt like a Spartan, right? That was great. However, you know how much I love Halo.
Mm.
You do, right?
Mm.
Short summary to explain how much. Look. For a start. Second, I tried for close to a year and a half to get these three essentially, and or Matt, to stream some Halo with me because I knew it would be stupid and fun. Have a look at my Halo 3 highlights on YouTube as a perfect example.
It's just constantly giving Kami shit. It's fantastic.
Yeah. However,
That and killing each other.
some of the best storytelling
Kami.
I've seen in a first-person shooter, I stress in a first-person shooter, Halo 1 to Halo 3, damn near perfect trilogy. Halo 4, very meh. Halo 5, gameplay, great. Again, pretty much felt like a Spartan for one of the first times. Story, eh. We can go down that path. But anyway, what I'm getting at is Halo 5 left it on a cliffhanger, which they did not deserve. They didn't deserve that cliffhanger. Then Halo Wars 2 comes out. All of a sudden, this 20-year gap from Halo Wars 1 to Halo Wars 2 is filled. And Halo Wars is now brought into the present. So not 20-year gap, it's more than that because, anyway, moving on. So Halo Wars is brought into the present and the Banished are introduced. You hear of and meet Atriox, this ridiculously, forgive the pun, but a brutish brute. It's a really poor grammar, but he's just the biggest, baddest thing we've ever come across in a Halo game, and you don't get to face him. Awesome. Okay, building up for something fantastic. He's like essentially like a prophet, right? You see the prophet in Halo 2, you don't really face him. Cool. Aatrox is up on God tier, I get it. Fine. They then have a post-credit scene with Cortana in Halo Wars 2. Awesome. So they're tying in Halo Wars and the Banished to Halo 6, Halo Infinite, right? I'm thinking, yes, great. I've got all these theories running in my head, how wonderful it's going to be. The first 3 fucking minutes, you see Chief effectively get tossed out of a fucking window by Aatrox. Literally just off your fuck. That's it. That's his fight with Aatrox. You don't get to do anything. He's already there. He's already fighting Aatrox. And you've just been told to fuck off. Out of the back of the ship. Chief's first loss in a game. And that's it. The entire game is then spent roaming around a map with, I would argue, just one of the most lackluster stories in a Halo game I've ever seen. It's just so bad. There is next to no mention of Cortana, apart from, spoiler, the AI that you've now got effectively being a clone of Cortana. And just, I don't know, all the build-up, all the hype from all the previous games that have led into this, literally, well, figuratively, got tossed out when Aatrox tossed Chief out. Because you don't fight him again. You don't touch Cortana again. You just ground level stuff on Zeta Halo. Yeah, that one. And it's just, I don't know. I really dislike the story of Halo Infinite.
Mm.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I have no strong opinion either way. To be
Sorry,
honest.
Joey. I just realized. Sorry, mate. I should have warned you.
I've only just gotten onto the open world of that game.
Mm.
I can understand the hatred towards the scene though, where you don't get to actually interact with it. That's kind of crappy.
It's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
That would be frustrating.
Oh my god. So,
Have you
I mean,
played
I
it
know
yet?
that they've said it's going to be a 10-year game, and they're going to provide updates and all this kind of stuff, but it's
Yeah.
just,
With how the main storyline went down, they better be offering some free DLC that will help tie things together and actually bring.
well, that's the thing. It goes back to what I said in our very first topic or subject game tonight thing. They made it open world. A game that, in my opinion, should not be open world. They made open world, and the story suffered greatly as a result. I believe they spent too much time world building, and that was, most of their advertisement. We have made worlds that resemble the original Halo game, but far grander. We've heard you. We've gone back to that art style, which is why the graphics haven't had a huge leap. They're literally just using that art style. Right? The graphics in the anniversary edition of Halo 2, their cutscenes are 1,000 times better than Infinite's. Right? And again, so yeah, they're advertising, right? It was all about the world building, all about the action, what you can do. The
The other
story.
thing they had as well was the fact of, oh yeah, you'll be able to explore this open world with your friends. Have they introduced multiplayer yet?
The beta's there. I think it's meant to be released this month or next month. So
In other
I
words,
will
no.
play through it again at
Oh
some
yeah,
point.
once the multiplayer gets in, I'd be happy to go through with it because I know that we'd keep it
The two
interesting,
of
not
us
the
would
story.
keep it interesting, and we would, like we did on the Halo 1 playthrough, we'd find a way to make it funny, stupid, and worthy of me posting on YouTube. But Solo, the story for me, I mean, I spent 90% of my time free roaming, and I enjoyed that to a degree. But I want some drive in a Halo game. I want some. I literally just want to be Chief. Give me a target, point me in that direction, and get the fuck out of my way.
Or at least give a reason as to why there isn't a stronger pull in direction this time.
Yeah. Anyway,
With Halo Infinite, I haven't had a proper go at the campaign, but I am really enjoying the multiplayer, the free one.
Yeah,
well, yeah, that's
I can
it.
see that. We enjoyed that as well
Yeah,
with
we
the
played it for
verses
a
and all
bit.
that.
I'm worried that 343 we're going down the route of COD and putting more of their resources on multiplayer than the campaign because that's where they're going to get most of their money. And from a business perspective, fair. People.
Isn't that what Halo 4 is? The
What do you-
multiplayer of Halo 4 is basically just Call of Duty, isn't it?
They made me come over there. But it's all about the multiplayer, all about the world itself, all about physicality of your character, like what you can do, the action and everything, the story, the purpose, the vision and purpose. No. Anyway, we're a little bit ahead of schedule. If no one else has anything to say about Halo Infinite,
I just haven't played it
no,
enough
no, all good,
to have a strong opinion either way.
all good. Cool. So that brings us back to Mitch. Game the second,
Yeah.
sir.
My second game would actually be this again is going into a franchise, would be the Call of Duty franchise. My issue with it is
Are you mad or agreeing?
He's
Sorry.
redeeming himself.
Ah, right.
is mostly I'm not a fan of the idea of the people who play longer or pay for it getting better weapons and stuff like that in games. It ends up completely skewing the play style and screwing it over for anybody who is a new player.
I'm so happy right now.
That, and also it has the issue of quite a few other games where it feels as if at this point they're just doing a very slight update. And instead of updating it, they're releasing a whole new version of it in the next year.
Ginger has
And-
concurred. Call of Duty
Overwatch.
hasn't been good since the first one.
And yes, I can see that Joey's waiting to.
I think Joey's
unload
ready to
it.
pounce.
Joey has many opinions, but before
Joey has strong opinions.
before he goes, I haven't played a lot of Call of Duty, and I've played the earlier iterations and versions. I have not played anything new or decent, but I'm inclined to agree. I think Call of Duty is one of the most overrated games of all time. It would be in my top 3, I reckon, of overrated games.
I have to do it now. I gotta press the button and unleash the Joey. Please have at it, Joey. The floor is yours.
I do agree with Ram that the newer games aren't very good. I've seen a lot of the newer ones and they seem to be very pay to win.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I've been playing through Black Ops 2 slowly on our PlayStation 3 and I've been really enjoying that. And I think some of the older games' campaigns are quite good.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I
And
played
COD
the
Mobile's
original.
good.
I played the original Black Ops, and that was fun to play around with friends. It was just, terrorists and the what's it called, whatever that other one's called.
Someone's gonna
going
clip
against
that
each
and take it
other.
out of context. Just, yeah, this game was great because terrorists. Jesus, bitch.
Ah,
Might be
no.
me who does that.
One
Don't
of
take
my
that out of
favorite.
context, internet.
Like my favorite moments in it were knowing that there was a box right out the window in one of them that you could get on top of, and I would just smoke bomb the entire room when people came through and just screw with them all because you could.
I also want to take this time to point out that Joey who I swear under any other circumstances would be wringing Rem's neck right now, has just the level of calm of a saint. He's just polite, and he's one of those people who you'd be scary if they approached you and just flat as ever. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. I mean, he scares me.
Quick question. Has Dad's flight taken off yet? Do you reckon I'd be able to hop on? He's going to Queensland, right?
You
I
want to pay
told him it would be
attention to
faster to
Germany?
drive. Oh dear. But anyway, yeah. Look, Mitch, anything else you want to add? Well, Tegan, you haven't waited much. COD.
Yeah, look, I think COD is just one of those games. Whether you've played it or not, it has that overrated mark already because
Yes.
it has been built into the relationship trope. My boyfriend doesn't do anything. He just sits there and plays Call of Duty all day. So I think that social commentary on the game has killed it quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
In the sense that it is often mistaken for, you know, again, you're not a real gamer unless you play Call of Duty. It Nothing makes you a real gamer. If you enjoy video games, you enjoy them. That's all there is to it. But many women that I know, they find out that I'm a nerd and that I'm a video gaming nerd. Oh, then you must love Call of Duty. No. Oh, but my husband, that's all he plays. And the amount of women I've worked with, oh, that's all my husband does. He sits there and just, oh, I can hear him all night. He's, with his Call of Duty army and stuff. So I think to a degree, that social element has made the game highly overrated in and of itself, which has got nothing to do with the game, which is a little bit sad.
Yeah, not just that, I also find that a lot of people who aren't gamers will essentially call any army shooter Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
like the one that your friend said sounds a lot more like Battlefield rather than Call of Duty.
Battlefield on
Yeah.
its original release was labeled the COD killer, and here we are. It failed. Tegan's webcam is also paused.
Both of them are.
Both of them are.
I believe that their internet may have just gone screwy.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's take a super short BRB. So we'll interact with the chat and stuff while we're waiting. I'm gonna grab a quick drink, but we're gonna put a BRB screen up and we'll interact with the chat. I'll keep the mics open. Yeah, and we'll see what happens with them. Won't be long. But Mitch, you've got the floor for a couple of minutes. I'll be back.
Fair enough.
Actually, may as well just leave that. I'll leave that there. While we bring back the cat. Okay, won't be long.
The cat has decided that it wants to go down behind the computer. But yes, enjoy cat camp for now. Oh, there Joey goes. So I'm guessing that the internet officially carked it. Cat. Yep, there goes the other one. But yes. He knows that he's not allowed down there.
Hello?
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Mum, we've loaded back in.
Well, you have at least. She hasn't yet.
Oh.
We have one of them.
You have one of them?
Yeah.
I had Logan walk in for a sec there. Didn't realize he was on camera. I got him out faster.
Yeah, I saw him down in the corner.
Yep, Mum kicked the router.
enough.
She was so angry with COD, she kicked the router.
Her Discord's still loading.
Oh dear.
But
That's
yeah, I
good.
do agree with you that some of the newer COD games aren't very good, but Black Ops 2 and the older ones are very fun.
The
And the
older
old
ones
COD zombies.
before microtransactions became as big a thing as they are now, I feel that they used to be much better back then. Because
Yeah.
as microtransactions became a thing, they started introducing things that they could use to get you to pay those microtransactions.
Mm. Like apparently in Call of Duty Warzone, if you want any of the good guns to be able to play, you need to spend like $50, and then to be able to unlock them, another $10 to be able to get a high enough tier in the battle pass, or you'll never reach the things you're actually after.
Yeah.
And then the next season, all the guns you got from the battle pass are useless because they nerf them, and then add all of the only good guns into the battle pass.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
I
just
also
watching
think
the
they're
cat.
very overpriced. Like
Oh
I was
yeah.
looking at the prices for the first COD Warzone. It's like a 5-year-old game now, and
Mm.
it's still going for like $100.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can only accept things like microtransactions in free to play games. And even
Yeah.
then, it is a very case by case basis for them.
Mm. I'm fine with a tier system for getting guns in games. But if it's a paid game, make it free and don't make it ridiculously hard to get the good weapons out of it.
Yeah, that is fair. How's your mother going?
Good. She's having a smoke while her thing loads.
Ah, okay. Cool. We won't move on to the next game then until she returns.
Yeah.
But
My next game, I'm pretty sure most of you will agree with.
alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
But while we're waiting for Tegan, like to my recollection, my only experience with COD directly with my hands on the controller, Zombie.
Mm.
I think I've done that twice. I think once. No, I think both with Alex. I met a friend of mine. Yeah, but I don't trust his judgment anymore. He now likes COD and Destiny. So anyway, yeah.
I've recently been playing COD Mobile, which is okay. It's not too full of microtransactions. It's still a mobile game,
Yep.
Yeah.
but I've
I'm
had it
still
on my last few
wait.
phones that have broken, and
I
because each time I've had to start again, at the moment, until I get to the higher levels, I'm just running around winning every match because I've played a lot longer than my level is. You're still loading, by the way. I don't know.
Might
will
be
admit
Ian,
I
but she
am.
just hasn't clicked the
Yeah, maybe.
No,
channel
her
yet. Maybe.
Discord's still loading on her thing.
But yeah, I'm still
You tell her
waiting
that she may have bumped
for.
a cable, like her computer cable. There may have been one or more cables bumped from the router,
You might have bumped some of your other computer cables.
specifically in the router.
If it's still loading. But yeah, I'm still watching how hard people are fighting to try and make loot boxes illegal.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we're really hoping that that goes through.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm very much in that camp.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
I've recently been watching a lot of videos of a bunch of reasons Nintendo's lost a bunch of money or gotten away with stealing from companies that they've partnered with. I don't know why I find them so entertaining, but it's fun to watch how Nintendo
Hey.
messed up. Hi, Mum.
I blame Peach entirely for jinxing me.
So
He
you cut
said-
out for a second there. Who do you blame?
I blame Rem. He jinxed me. It won't. It keeps saying Discord update failed. Retrying in 5 seconds.
I believe
Discord.
that's because your
Mum,
internet connection
Mum,
is
try
still.
resetting
Is
your
your
PC.
computer actually connected to the internet?
Yeah,
Mum, try
Yes.
resetting your computer.
I gotta restart. But I'm on my
Okay.
phone for now, so we
Yep,
can
all
continue.
good. All right, so while we're doing that, then, Tegan, we'll come back to you so that you can focus. Joey,
Yes.
your second game, if that's all right.
League of Legends.
League of Legends.
I've played it once. I played 1.5 matches. I tried to play a second time. No matter what I did, it wouldn't save my login details.
Hmm.
There were too many characters, and I could only unlock one of them, and you couldn't test any of the characters either. The same sort of matchmaking problem, and it was a lot slower.
Then what? Slower than what?
Dota.
Yeah, I've, again, thankfully, never touched LOL, and I can't criticize it accurately because of such. I want to get that out there first. What I've seen and heard, LOL is a slower game. Slower
It
pace
is
in
bad.
terms of almost everything apart from the length of a match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also much more in depth than Dota is, and a lot of the actual gaming aspects of it.
How so?
Which, well,
Remember, you're speaking to someone who's never touched it before.
essentially, Dota is LOL light,
Okay.
but unfortunately, everything is stepped up in League of Legends, including the vitriol in the players.
Are there items in LoL?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the item sets. It's still, you can choose between, I believe it's 1 lane, 3 lane, and I think they may even have a 5 lane version.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I installed it was because I was getting a bunch of ads for it. So I installed
yeah.
it to stop getting.
You're telling them that
ads.
mass ad campaign works.
No, I never touch it. It's still
Oh,
downloaded. I just
They no
never
longer
touch
have 3 lane.
so it's just the 1 and 5 lane.
So the classic
No.
3 lane
Ad.
that was the original, like Dota, like everything that's built off is gone. But we're both
Pokemon
wrong.
Unite's better than League of Legends.
Hang on. 2 lane. 2 lane, okay.
Pokemon's better. Pokemon Unite is better.
I had
Wow.
forgotten about that.
Pokemon Unite's okay. It has the same buying characters problem, but it's still better than League of Legends.
See, I played I think about 4 or 5 matches of Pokemon Unite, and every single one of them ended up the same way. I was always MVP, and my team always won. It was very much a one-sided show.
Agreed.
I finished it there. I've got 5 wins out of 5. Or it's either 4 or 5. We'll say 5 because it's a high number. But yeah,
Yeah. I got enough wins to unlock a different character and then essentially unlocked it, played it 2 or 3 times and went, yep, I'm done.
yeah. I think I have 2 Pokemon available. I was using Charizard predominantly.
Look, I've been on and off with it, but the most I've played it has been with Luna. when she had it on her phone.
But
Stepping
Gil.
back to LOL,
I
I
was about to
will
say you're getting back to LOL, yeah.
freely, absolutely 100% commit to the fact that I really dislike LOL. I've played, I think, like 3 or 4 matches.
More than I have.
And honestly, it is an absolute bias thing. It's just gotten to the point where it's like, you know, in Australia, you're either a Ford or a Holden person. It's like in the gaming world, you're either a LOL player or a Dota player, and I'm firmly a Dota player. So
Speaking
I
of,
freely
I know Matt's not in any camp anymore.
yeah.
I get that. Rough ride, hard for him to have fun. I get that. We need to go back on at some point though.
I really love Dota. But I'm first to admit it's not even it's just a thing now. Like people go, oh, you should play LOL. No. Fuck that game. That game sucks.
Halo and COD are the same for me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's absolutely an unfair opinion of the game, but it's my opinion.
Yeah.
I wear it. I acknowledge it for what it is. I see it there. I see you, little bias, sitting over there, but it is what it is.
So everyone of importance is agreeing with Joey on this one. Mitch?
Yeah. Oh, trust me. It's not the most horrible game out there, but I will agree that for me, the people who play it have ruined it for me.
I've heard the toxicity over there is on the next level.
Oh, yeah.
See, I don't understand that. I mean, I used to get quite angry with Dota. Thankfully, not anymore, but I used to get quite angry. Usually for one of 2 reasons. One, I'm playing like shit. And I know I can play better. Same reason why I would get angry with tennis. I was a competitive tennis player for a long time. Nothing ranking wise, but when I lost, I wasn't always angry. It was only when I played bad that I got angry. It wasn't because I lost. Same with Dota.
Is it McEnroe?
McEnroe.
Yeah, McEnroe. He's the same, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's quite.
So when I played poorly, I got angry. The other one is the other most common one was when there was just an absolute. This is the only time I would use that word. I'm not going to. Just dickheads. Absolute. The toxicity level, next level. The toxic players would get on my nerves too much.
Yeah.
A close 3 would be ex-friends and their nonsense.
Fair enough.
I think we've all experienced toxicity playing Dota. I used to get quite with the.
Me, not so much.
We've sheltered you from that mostly.
Thankfully,
I've had a lot of toxicity in Overwatch.
Yeah. So when Joey first started playing Dota, for everyone else's context, he was only allowed to play if he was playing in a party with us, like a full party of people we knew and friends. Because, and I used to receive a lot of, what I'm looking for, sexual harassment, basically. And it either fell into one of 2 camps. It was, oh, you can't play this game for shit, you're a girl, or the opposite side of that. And so it really, that's probably the most frustrating part. And that is not specific to Dota. That is any online game I have ever played. It's hard, especially when there are so many females who use gaming as a leverage platform for views, subs, money, etc. because of their target market audience.
How many times you go on to a female Twitch player thing and it's just, oh, won't you sub to me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that gives the and I shouldn't sit here and go, oh, I'm a female gamer. I just say I'm a gamer. I don't need to assign a gender to a hobby that I love. But that's what it's turned into. It's the whole, oh, I'm not a CEO, I'm a she-o. It's that kind of feministic bullshit that pisses me off. And I do find a lot of that in Dota. I do find a lot of that in most online games. To be
I
fair,
make a point of not talking about anything kind of really personally. Don't talk about anything political or religious or whatever in this. So this is the only thing I will say. This is not saying it's going to go down that route. I just want to make sure I stay away from it. I feel like, and this is just an opinion, not a fact. I feel like if a lady was doing the exact same content that the majority of streamers out there are trying to break into the market for, that their numbers would be far greater.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And that is not again limited to just video gaming. It's with anything. How are these women making money
Sex
just
sells.
eating food at the moment? Like, that's just blowing my mind. That's a societal issue that we are not getting into.
Yeah.
But as
let's park that one.
someone who happens to be female and I play video games, I hate that whole, so you're a female gamer. I'm just a gamer.
You're a gamer.
Like, I don't need the tag. I don't need the gendered tag. But when I go into a video game, and so, okay, look, I'm getting older. Fortnite frustrates me because it is so fast I can't keep up anymore. I'm slower than I used to be. I've had a brain tumor that's affected my vision. Shit has happened. So I am a bit slower in Dota than I used to be when we first started, and I'm not as quick off the mark and blah, blah, blah. But I get the shits when people are like, oh, you can't play well because you're a girl. Or you can't play well, Joey, because you're 12. Like, it's that kind of toxicity in online games that really frustrates me, because the whole point of a MOBA or any online platform when you're interacting with strangers, it's supposed to be fun, and they kill the fun by being absolute asshats. And it just shits me. It shits me.
Yeah, while I was playing Overwatch once, in the chat, while I was muting it, someone on my team was yelling at someone else to go back in the kitchen and cook a sandwich where they belong. I heard this dude just start screaming.
What, at the person who said it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hilarious to listen to.
That's the thing. That has transcended being an actual insult and it's become a meme now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not okay.
I completely agree. It's not okay. But at this point, it's not even about guy or girl or whatever.
I'm about to say, I think the
thing.
dude that said it needs to go back to the kitchen.
Oh,
Yes.
And again, I'm not. Yeah. I think we're getting dangerously close here. I think we need to make a sandwich. Thanks, Ginger. I think we need to. I'm going to put a pin in this one because we could get sucked down that rabbit hole, and I don't want to do that. So moving forward, if that's okay with everyone.
Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
I was about to say, Joey, is there anything else? Yeah.
No.
No, nothing else. No other points. No.
I also found there was way too many characters. And the fact that you had to unlock them made it very difficult to choose who you wanted to play. And not being able to preview characters until you've unlocked them.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
One of the issues I have in the games like that is that it's very much tier based. Like, people will go off at you if you play a character you enjoy, but it's a C class in their opinion.
I mean, Dota, I love playing Sniper because I don't play Dota that much. Same with you, Mitch. Our hero pool has gone from like 20 heroes down to 2 or 3. Right? And I love Sniper. And the amount of crap I get for playing Sniper at all, the fact that I pick him, at all, you get crap for it. And like any hero on Dota, no matter what the supposed skill level is of that
Hey.
What, you back?
Sorry, I'm coming back.
Okay. But yeah, no matter what the supposed skill level is of a certain hero, you get flack about whatever kind of end of the spectrum you're on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a sniper, as an example, is just is labeled as a right-click hero, which he very much is. However,
Oh.
if you don't get space to farm, if your team is not there to help support you get said farm, you are not going to get the gold to be able to buy the items to be able to effectively right-click. Just the other night, I saw a sniper who put all their resources into increasing their attack speed, which is what a sniper will do, but he had no damage to back it up. So, I mean, yeah, every hero has a certain skill. Sorry.
Sorry, trying to log back in now.
Oh,
There
you're
we go.
right. Go for it, but we may not really respond with. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, every character has a certain level of skill, and every character is played differently. I would assume it's the same for LoL, and the level of toxicity, because LoL's player base is about 3-4 times the size of Dota. You're gonna get that much more variety, that much more versatility, that much more diversity. I found 3 ways to say the exact same thing. Of the way people play, the heroes they'll pick, the strategies they'll come up with, all sorts of things, and you're gonna get clashes.
Yep.
And it's the same in any online game. Just because someone thinks differently to you does not mean that either of you are wrong. The best, I guess, meme I've seen about that, as an example, there's a 6 or a 9 drawn on the ground, and there's someone standing at either end of that number, and one person is pointing at it going, it's a 6, the other person is pointing at it going, it's a 9. Just because one person's opinion differs from yours does not mean either of you are wrong. Anyway.
Unless it's Kami's opinion on Boba Fett.
Then it's very wrong.
It's always wrong.
Yeah, Kami, you should be expecting an angry horde outside your house in about 2 to 3 months.
But you'll
Don't
be
worry
here
about it.
in just over a month?
Oh, I don't think he knows that.
Surprise, I'm coming to visit. I'll be knocking on your door, my friend. Anyway.
Oh, great, I don't have to pay for tickets.
Anyway, if anything else you wanted to say on LOL, Joey?
No.
No? Okay, cool. Tegan, you're number 2.
Hi, Kami. I'm number 1.
God, your webcam is just going ham over there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you look at the
crap.
stream, it's just flashing green every now and then.
Oh, shit, who's next? Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. I'm
Looks
pretty
like
sure it's
you're dropping
cable.
frames too, quite savagely.
Joe, you want to come and crawl under and see if it's the cable?
I already did that.
Yeah, well,
I pushed
I'm just going to flash green for a little while because it's Christmas and I love Christmas. Let's go with that.
It's a Christmas style.
Or I could just turn it off. I don't be an alien. Is that better?
I mean, you could if you want.
Again, and I'm actually not sure how familiar with. Well, I know one of you is quite familiar with it.
Me?
Yes. I actually strongly dislike this game, which is
Ooh.
unusual for me because
Okay.
normally I just like I don't like that game. I'm not gonna play
I am
it.
in for the ride. Let's go.
This is the only game I have ever requested a refund on Steam.
Ah.
Joey knows what it is because
I don't like that game either.
I disliked it that
Borderlands.
much. Yeah,
Like-
absolutely.
No.
Fuck that game. No. It is Elden Ring. Really, really dislike it. So this is
Tell me
gonna
more.
it's gonna sound bad considering what I was just talking about being. I don't want to be my gamer. Look, it was too difficult. So I do like Dark Souls. I love the difficulty of Dark Souls, and it's the extension of blah blah blah. I get all of that. But there comes a point in a video game where if you are so frustrated because there is no tutorial, you are supposed to just fucking guess what you need to do. It is the only game I've ever played that I had to go and find a YouTube tutorial just to get past the first 3-4 minutes of the game because I had no idea what to do. There is no, the typical
If I
gaming,
can point
here's
something
the
out,
shiny light.
Tegan,
Yeah.
I
they
had to
found
watch a
this.
Hang on,
YouTube.
hang on, Joe.
There was a tutorial for it. You're meant to drop down the pit at the entryway, which actually takes you to the usual thing, which tells you this button to slash, this button to block, this button to dodge.
That was so not obvious at all.
No, they
At all.
found that out. They had to actually put an entry point to it where it goes this way to tutorial.
Yeah. So I obviously played it before that point because no. So then I finally sort of figure out, obviously, the game control mechanics, blah, blah, blah. I found the camera controls ridiculous. Absolutely
Agreed.
ridiculous. When you're in combat and you have to, the camera doesn't snap back to behind you. And for an RPG, that is incredibly frustrating that you have to manually control that while fighting multiple characters. I
Or
feel
hard
like,
enemy.
I have many opinions. I'm not finished. My list goes on. The checkpoint save points, bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit. So the first, what I found to be challenging was the first town you come across or the first encampment area. And it took me a while to figure out the best type of character I should play. And I realized I had picked the hardest class. So I went back, changed it, played an easier class to begin with. It took me, God, Joe, how many times? Like 30, 40 times just to get through that first encampment area?
Oh yeah, with those knights,
Yeah, with the knights and stuff.
it took me around 100 attempts with every different class.
Yeah, it's a difficult game. And again, I don't shy away from difficult games in general, okay?
And I have no idea what I'm meant to do in that game.
No,
It gives you no direction of where you're meant to go.
no. So I
I might have
finally did
another
it.
go at it.
I finally did it. And I was like, fuck yeah. So they move on to the next area. Straight away, this giant, I don't know, what was he, a tree man or something, comes out, kills me dead within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back before the encampment. Like the checkpoint saves are crap. They're really, really, really unforgiving. And Kami, this is going back to some of the points you've made in previous videos and stuff of how unforgiving old school games were, like The Lion King, like Crash Bandicoot. It's not frustrating in the same way because those sort of platform run-alongs and stuff, they were hard, man. And kids today can't cope with it because you got to get all the checkpoints. This one is just particularly brutal. Matt even eventually has gone, yeah, okay, no, this is too hard. It's too hard to get through. But some of the jumping puzzles as well, again with the camera control, just making the jump and then you die and then you've got to go back to 3 or 4 fights ago and start all over again. No, so I actually, the one and only game I've ever requested a refund on.
I feel like Ginger is trying to take a deep breath, cracking his fingers, stretching his neck, and about to press the caps lock button. Like he is triggered. Whatever
He's
happens,
triggered, isn't
Kami
he?
is wrong. Elden Ring. Matt's joined. A wild Matt has appeared.
Yes, I am talking about Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Yeah.
And
So
you guys, so just before we move on, somebody else talks. You guys have all played enough video games with me, especially Dota, where you guys are all raging hardcore. There have been a few moments where I've raged. It's usually at a toxic player, not the game itself. But how often do I rage in a video game?
Depends
Never.
on how much your husband tries to push you ahead quickly.
Yeah, that's a different kettle of fish. But you're right. Very, very rarely, right? This game, you asked Matt and Joey. I was livid, wasn't I, Joey? I
Yeah, I
I
remember
walked
watching.
around with the shits for days. Everything and everyone. Okay, that's probably an over exaggeration.
I feel like, and again, this is just an opinion. I feel like that entire franchise, Dark Souls included, I feel like they are thriving and just living off their original fan base. right? They're making a game for the people who like that game, and they're making people who like that, and it's just moving forward, right? I feel like they're not inviting anyone new into that franchise. It's just building off the hype of the last. And as you said, the fact that you've got to go searching for a tutorial, the fuck, right? And then
Yeah.
it's building off its own hype. They're building off the fact that people know it's going to be difficult, that people are expecting stupidly tough stuff, and then they try more cheap kills and thrills. It's um
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
thing.
still, it's just
Yeah.
that's the way it's coming across to me. They're building it specifically as the same thing time and I feel like that this Dark Souls games. I know there's a story there, and I know I'm well off the mark with this. The way it's coming across to me is that it's just like COD or FIFA. It's the same thing again and again with a different skin. That's just the way it's coming across to me.
But even someone that is not one of the historical Dark Souls players, because I'm not, the game itself I find was quite repetitive in and of itself.
Yeah, that's it. You go in, you fight a bad guy, you die to a barrel that's come out of nowhere, or you fall off a cliff that wasn't there 3 seconds ago, and then you fight a boss.
Yeah.
And then you do all the same stuff again, then you fight the other boss.
Yeah.
And I know this is extremely hypocritical of my love for Sonic games or even Halo, where you just point and shoot. Definition of a first-person shooter, you point and shoot something, and you do point and shoot at stuff, more stuff, right? I get it, but and Matt just went, "Or Halo," yeah, but yeah, it's um, yeah, I don't know. It's just
Well, unlike you guys, I did enjoy it. I've just, yeah, I guess it's one of those things. If you're, it is very much a game that has run on its difficulty, but has never been unfair in its difficulty.
I'm sorry. Have we played the same games?
That's the thing.
I disagree.
If you die in that game, you can see, I should have dodged at that moment, I should have blocked that, or I should have moved this way. And they have, everything has a set of moves which you can learn and beat.
I look, I agree with that, and I'll accept that. I won't argue against it at all. Ginger has recently seen how I personally play God of War Ragnarok, and his comment when watching me was, "I would love to see you play Dark Souls because you just get absolutely slaughtered, right? Because I'm just all out attack. I will dodge, I'll roll, but I very rarely block unless a projectile's coming my way. I'll just hack and slash. It's the way I play God of War.
That's the thing. If you play Dark Souls and you block, unless you're specifically built for that, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, I'll block when I kind of need to in God of War, but I prefer just to roll out of the way and going for an attack. I prefer the dodge and attack method rather than block.
I agree. It is not versatile to people's personal preferences of game play. There is only one way you can do it. And if you can't master that one way, you are never going to get through.
So, I mean, with God of War...
if you're like Kami and you don't typically block, and again, I have trouble doing more. Sorry, Kami, to cut you off.
Okay.
I have trouble, doing those things. But it is, for the most part, the camera movement was shit. The absolute control of the cameras and the way it moves in the middle of game, in the middle of battle, was absolute shit poor. And that's ultimately what killed it for me. And I was just like, rage quit. Absolute rage quit.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I attacked Fallen Order the same way that I attacked God of War, right? In God of War, I'm playing on the standard difficulty, a balanced game, because I enjoy the slightly longer boss fights. I enjoy.
Play Give Me God of War difficulty.
Sorry.
Play Give Me God of War difficulty.
No, I value what little sanity I have left, but
I don't. I'm doing it.
I enjoy those boss fights because they're that bit tougher. They're a bit of a slog, but they're not a Dark Souls slog of a boss, right? Whereas even the normal difficulty for Fallen Order, Ginger is triggered. Even on the standard difficulty for Fallen Order, it was too close to Dark Souls for me. I was not good enough to. Well, I mean, okay, for the normal story, I was fine, but I got to Ogdo Bogdo or something, the first big toad mini boss. Lost my shit because I kept getting that close to killing him and die every time. I just put the game away for 6 to 8 months. Only about 2-3 months ago did I finish it because I put it on story mode and just blasted through the campaign because I wanted to experience the story, and there is not that option on Dark Souls.
I think what happened to me ultimately was I got through the encampment for the upteenth millionth time, killed them all, went and triggered the first boss. Then he chased me back out into the encampment because it's the only way I could keep from getting killed by his little minions. And all of the dudes in the encampment were back. So I
Yes.
was fucked. Absolutely fucked. I have seriously triggered Ginger, and I'm quite happy with that outcome for the season.
Oh dear, Mitch.
Oh, yeah,
any
I
comments?
do rarely rage quit like that, but I did.
Mitch, you said you
Also,
enjoyed it.
to throw,
Yeah, I
sorry,
did.
to throw salt in the wound was when my 12-year-old son could defeat the first boss when I couldn't. That was
No, I
Hang on,
didn't
hold your
beat
thought, Mitch. Please, Joey,
Mum,
take
I
that.
did not. I didn't beat him. I got him to one hit, and then
That's
had
right.
the giant guard come up and stab me through the back.
That's right. But he got way closer than I did.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
And that's happened 3 more times.
Just rub salt in the wind. Mitch, you said
Thanks,
you
Mum.
liked Game
Gonna go
Game of
cry.
Thrones. I was about to say Game of Thrones. You liked Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
For the sake of Ginger's sanity, and just so we have more ammunition to fling back, what was yours?
Fair enough. That's the thing. It has multiple different play styles. You don't just have to go in there with the sword swing. You can go bow, magic, heavy weapons, light weapons, daggers, which hit like a fucking freight train if you know how to do them, right?
Hey Tegan, you know what would help with that?
Mm.
Tutorial.
Yeah, wouldn't that be helpful? As he said that, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
if it fucking showed you how to do it.
That's the thing.
Look, I
It
should
did.
probably have a good
You
go at
just
Elden
couldn't
Ring.
find the damn thing.
If you've got to find a tutorial.
You need a tutorial to find the tutorial.
See,
That's
see,
the problem.
I believe that they put the tutorial in like that because they had zero creativity around making a tutorial. One of the best tutorials I have seen, The Last of Us. That entire opening scene is a tutorial, and it is one of the most heartfelt and emotional scenes. Because
You know what the
fuck your dislike
downside
of it,
is?
Mitch.
You know what the downside is to that?
What?
Sitting there for that long going, I know you can press X to continue. Let me press it already.
The Last of Us only goes through each thing once, and it does it very well.
Very slowly.
It's story.
A story
Anyway.
that you've heard multiple times before. But yes, we're going back in the steps now.
Yep, we're rehashing. Okay,
We're
cool.
backtracking.
But what else, Mitch? In defense of Elden
It's-
Ring.
Elden Ring, that's the thing. It is all about skill level. You will die a fair bit in your first startup bit.
Just tell me
But-
I'm basically shit. Is that what he just basically said?
Well, that is quite
Yes.
literally what Ginger is saying in the chat, but yes.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I'll deal with him later.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that at that particular game, because you couldn't figure out, as you stated, specifically the camera, because there is the lock-on option, which does help a fair bit in combats.
Yeah, I never
But-
noticed the problem with the camera you were, Mum.
To play devil's advocate with the camera controls, I know I'm not the only one that hated Elden Ring for that reason, because, again, this game has opened up a whole new world to me. I actually hated it so much that it's the only time I've ever been on Reddit to complain about a game, and found others who felt the same way. But
You went
I'm not a PC.
forum diving.
Yeah, I went forum diving.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Right. I am a console gamer. That's how I started, and I there are a lot of PC games where I struggle with controlling the camera in a fight scene. Donor is one of them. I do struggle with it, but it just was that step harder. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. That's the thing, though.
Fuck you,
When they were
Ginger.
marketing it, they were specifically stating that it was going to be. It was not going to be Dark Souls. It was going to be more difficult.
Yeah, and I knew they're going in. I knew they're going in.
Yeah.
Another
And
reason, Mum, wasn't
Mm.
another reason you didn't like it is you were told you'd be able to play with Dad and you'd both be able to
Yes.
play the missions together, but
Yes.
he could help you,
Yes.
but then you'd have to help him and you'd have
Yeah.
to do each mission twice if you wanted to progress together
Yeah.
because it only did it for one of you, which is stupid.
Yeah, Joey's absolutely correct. I've ranted about that for a while too. After
Yeah,
it,
You
so
ranted
that
Matt
was
sold it to me. Matt sold it to me on the basis that we can play this together. No. You can't play it together. You can have someone there while you do your bit and they can help, but it bumps the difficulty up anyway. But then you have to go and do it again with him.
I don't want to change
Yeah.
the topic to this. I just want to glancing comment. Mitch and I found out almost the exact same thing with Pokemon last night.
yeah,
I bumped into a
Yeah,
Pokemon
you-
and went, ah, shit, I bumped into this. What happens for you? Ian, you're literally standing next to the Pokemon. But I'm in a full-on battle with this. Nope, you are just standing next to it. Oh, Ian, it disappeared. Yeah, I just fainted
Yep.
it. Well, it's gone now.
Yeah, me and Dad noticed that as well when we played together.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Ginger in chat is saying that yes, you can. You can't. You can't.
can't.
Matt and I tried, and you can't. It
Um,
was a visiting bystander in my game. It was not playing the game together.
on the subject of games that should have a much better tutorial, Hollow Knight. The first area of that game, I've started so many runs in it, but it never shows you anything you should be doing. I
yeah.
had to look up a tutorial on YouTube and watch it about 3 or 4 times to memorize a route to get out of the first area and to the first part of the second area before I can actually start playing the game.
On the back of
The
that.
issue-
Sorry, Mitch, you go.
Mm. Oh, the issue that Hollow Knight had was that it was very much retro gameitis. It believed that people would understand that you have to jump up this to get forward, and you're meant to move to the right.
He's beaten me to the punch.
Mhm.
Yeah. To be played devil's advocate to take a line of Tegan's book. Look at all pre, or all the 90s or pre console games. All the Sega games, all the Nintendo games, or the tutorials. It's learn as you play. And sometimes that's great, sometimes it's not.
Mm.
And it's hard to find that balance. Like, I mean, with something like Sonic Frontiers as an example, I've only played about 3 hours of it, and I'm really enjoying it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to use all those the move set. Same with God of War. I don't feel like I'm going to use all those move sets, and I don't really get much of a tutorial in it. Whereas if we go back to original Sonic, you move, you jump, you kill, and if you landed on something you thought you could kill by jumping on it, and you couldn't do it, that's how you learned, right? The first time in the very first Sonic game, when you're running, you press down, and by chance you started rolling. What? You can do that? I mean, but you bring this into Elden
Same with
Ring.
the slide and Crash.
Exactly. And then you bring this into Elden Ring, where we're kind of, oh, I can do that. But it again, to flip that, it's different. Going from a 2D platformer where all you can do is run, jump, and spin, to a game that is as open
Complex.
and can come from as many different angles as you're all saying you can. You need a tutorial for something like that.
Yes.
And you had one.
And it's got to be
No, you don't, Rem.
creative. It can't just be a press X for this. Jump. Don't shoot the red barrels. It's just, it's
Yeah.
Skyrim's tutorial.
anyway.
That tutorial,
What tutorial?
Skyrim's tutorial is
Again, Skyrim had a beautiful
big cave.
lack thereof tutorial, it was just enough. It was just enough.
Yeah.
The escape
It
from I can't forget
yeah.
the name of the town, but the
Helgen.
escape. That was the tutorial they needed. That was all you needed. That was it.
It shows you how to stab, jump, sneak, block.
Exactly, and with
Only things you
that
use
level
in
of
the game.
information, you could form your own strategy. You knew how to block, you knew how to stab, you knew how to essentially cast spells with those buttons. Excuse me, you learn everything you needed to. Perfect.
And
Anyway,
there's no added skills. The most added skills are being able to hold spells for longer or dual shoot spells,
yeah.
and that's all.
Anyway, Tegan, as this was your topic, any final comments?
Well, so you get that much better at the game. So Ginger's defending the fact that he reckons, yes, you can play together. No, you can't. You can't. Having to do it in my world to progress my character and then having to be summoned into Matt's world to progress his is not playing a game together. It is parallel play. Okay, it is bullshit. Yeah, no, just my point stands. I don't shy away from challenging games. There was a level of Borderlands, I can't remember if that was 1 or 2, and it was challenging. It was so fucking hard. I think it was one of the DLCs. And it took
I
me
know what you're talking about
hours
too.
and hours and hours to get through it, and I never shied away from it because, and again, this was before my rose-tinted love of Borderlands even. It was way back when. And I do enjoy that challenging aspect, but when it is designed like that, no. No.
I
I know
gotta.
the boss fight you're talking about. It's a secret one in a DLC for Borderlands 2. That's stupid hard. It's like a giant
Yeah,
crab
but you gotta
thing.
go across the bridge and fight all the, New Haven guards and
They have
stuff.
one of those
Yeah,
in
that
each
one.
of the Borderlands games.
I gotta ask something here.
Yeah.
Ginger's really disagreeing with me. He thinks it's playing
Hang
together
on,
still.
hang on. On the back of that,
You're just an idiot.
Tegan, if you're
Mm.
playing a game with 0 level up system, such as Halo, right?
Mm.
You have gotten up to level 8 of 10. Matt's on level 2. You co-op play with Matt and help him progress. Is that not the same? Is what
Yeah,
you're
but it
describing.
is not the it is the same as I'm describing, but it is not the only option. I could also create a new character and Matt and I can join hands and run through the field of flowers and do it together at the same level. Elden Ring, you can't at all. It does not give you the choice.
Because Diablo 3 also has a similar aspect where you join the other player's world with an existing character. I see what I'm
Yeah.
saying is I see where Ginger is coming from. Because other games do this. And being summoned into that world, I know that it's not true
Yeah.
cooperative
I think
play unless you're doing it
but
all together. I get
think
that.
about
I
think
can see
about the online Star Wars one, right? So we could all join a party and we all had our own missions depending on what class and race and blah 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 that we were doing. But if we had the same mission, it progresses at the same time if we did it together. We did
Yeah.
not have to go in and do the fucking mission twice.
Yeah. I think I can
Yeah.
see the issue that both of you are having. It's that he is seeing it as a cooperative game, which it is, but not in that way, whereas you are wanting a co-op game.
I would argue that this game is like what this game is it doesn't have co-op. I dispute the fact that it has co-op. It has sibling mode.
Yeah, yeah.
It has sibling
Apt
mode.
description.
It's the same as the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. You bring in a sibling and they purely help you on your journey. And they can fuck off and do their own. Yes, you're playing cooperatively. Is it co-op? No. It is sibling mode. You are one person is
agree.
progressing. Just the one.
Yeah, I
The
completely
other
agree.
person is just the younger sibling with player 2. It's dead set Sonic 2 with player 1 playing as Sonic and Tails being left off camera because fuck Tails. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And Matt and I also
sibling
had a
mode.
lot of trouble summoning each other. to do it. Like we were in this cave and we had to fight all these wolves, and of course we had to do it over and over and over and over again. And then once I finally did it, then we had to do it over and over again for Matt. But we even had trouble just even the simple act of summoning each other into
Yeah, I remember that.
that was difficult. That should not be difficult.
No.
That should not be something that is difficult to navigate and know how to do in a game like that.
Yeah, I remember I had to go out fighting the wolves, and it would have been like a 5-10 minute attempt. It ended up being like 20-30 minutes because we couldn't figure out how to summon each other. The summoning wouldn't work.
Yeah, and it was hit and miss. And sometimes you'd be summoned and then poof, all of a sudden you're gone for no reason whatsoever. So yeah, and then it was, oh well, we have to start all over again. Anyway, I'll stop now.
Yeah. So for the sake of time,
Yeah, company said
hang on, I'm trying to find. I don't normally use.
if we started with Halo, I want to see what he's finishing with.
Give me a sec.
Just because it says it's there, Ginger, it doesn't mean it delivered on what it said. It would not be the first video game to not deliver on something it has claimed to have.
I can't find the appropriate thing, but anyway, there. Cool. So basically, my last one is gonna fall into the same category. I can't remember who mentioned something like this before. What was that?
Someone breathing into their mic.
Oh, someone's already getting
really-
fired up, and I haven't even said the name of the
I
game
it's me getting fired up.
yet. It falls into the
Comment.
category of I don't understand why it's got the hype it does. I don't. I really don't. To me, it is a stupid game built on
Oh, this is gonna be good.
stupid things. And it is just a waste of time. But I like games that do relatively the same thing. So I'm a huge hypocrite.
I think I know what it is.
Take a guess.
No, go on, lay it on me. I think I know what it is.
It's Animal Crossings.
Oh, right. No, okay, I was slightly
What do you
off.
think I was going for?
Minecraft.
No. I thought I'd spare you that tonight. That is up there, but I thought no, because we've had this conversation before. But
Minecraft's amazing.
to me,
Animal Crossing is amazing.
Animal Crossing is a paid version of Farmville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. It is just come back tomorrow. You can do this, but I want to do it now. Come back tomorrow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the building thing, right? I mean, look at first person stuff. 7 Days to Die, Ark. Look at RTS style. Look at RTS style stuff, right? The Jurassic World games, love them. But look at this world building thing, and I absolutely hate it. I don't understand.
We're gonna have to play Stardew Valley.
No, that falls into the exact same category. I was tossing up as to which one to pick.
Yeah,
I was tossing up which one.
Stardew Valley is good.
They both, for me, fall into the same category of paid version of Farmville. I just don't understand them. It's just, I'm gonna build a house, farm crops, which is essentially what 7 Days to Die is, but with zombies. And what have we learned tonight, kids? All games are better with zombies. Uncharted is better with zombies. COD is better with zombies.
Kami.
All games are better with zombies.
Kami, I know an excellent survival game. It's a zombie survival game.
I'm already there.
Oh, you're already there. Okay, so you're gonna play Minecraft, are you?
No.
I know you, man.
Are they actually zombies?
Yes.
Are they not skeletons?
There's
No.
zombies, there's
As well.
skeletons, there's...
But the main mob has always been
zombies.
zombies.
I fell into
done,
that.
Joey.
Well played, Joey.
Yes, you did.
Come on, Kami, you've got to play Minecraft now.
No.
Nope, you said you'd play. Come on, Kami.
I said games are better with zombies. Minecraft was trash, and
No,
now
no,
it is
no.
slightly above trash because zombies.
You said when he said, I know a great survival game with zombies, you said, I'm already there. You said,
You can't go back on
No,
that, Kami.
I won't. I stand by it. I stand by
I'm
it.
going to clip
You
that
are
now.
you are right.
On that note, Rem and I, we've been talking about playing Minecraft together for years, dude. We've got to do it.
I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
join. Can I join?
Well,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yay!
It's
Even though
it's a
it's
big enough
very
open world. Of course you can.
Yay!
I've gotten him to play like what, all of 5 minutes. And I have it on video.
Who? Kami?
Kami,
Yeah,
Minecraft.
that was amazing. I made him. It was very
Yeah.
fun.
He did it purely for Joey. Let me in. So obviously we've gone off track a little bit. Animal Crossing. I don't know a lot about this game. I have personally never played it. I know that Luna just got it for her birthday. So
It's
I
meh.
actually thought it was when I first. What's that game where you got to cross the road with the animal and avoid the traffic?
Crossy
Like
Road.
Frogger.
Frogger, yeah, Crossy Roads based on Frogger. That's what I thought it was. That's Animal Crossing.
No, it's not as
Yeah.
exciting as that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mum. Mum. I remember you.
You got duped.
Mum, I remember you thought it was that, and you saw the price of it, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What? $60 for
To
that?"
cross the road.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I was
takes why
like,
did the chicken cross the road to a whole other level? Why? Because Mum paid for it to do so.
a better version of Animal Crossing. Joey, what is that game that we were playing that or me, you and Luna were obsessed with? I keep forgetting what it was called. You're on an island and you had to collect resources to get open a new world of the island.
Ark,
Remember? No. Me, you
7
and
days
Luna were
to
fighting
die,
over playing it for a while.
Valheim.
No.
Kami, be quiet. Explain it again, Mum.
You were like a little Kami wouldn't like it because the graphics were poor. You were like a little dude and you had to go to like a little house and it was like a tree house and meet the wizard and
Grounded.
no, it's not Grounded.
Stardew Valley.
No, it's not Stardew Valley. Matt would know. Matt,
He's not here.
Matt knows. Fuck him. Ah,
I'd
Joey,
rather
it was
not, but
on.
anyway.
It was on. Was it on Xbox or PlayStation? It was a downloaded game.
Anyway.
Anyway, that was a better version of.
Explain it
Animal-
again, Mum.
Okay, it was like 8-bit style. You were on an island. You went and collected resources, and there was a chicken, and you had to build like the storage boxes and the little forge.
Forager.
Forager, thank you.
That one.
Yeah, I feel like Forager is a better version of Animal Crossing.
I am a
Yeah,
shallow
also, Mum,
bitch
I
when it
make
comes
moves.
to graphics, but I'm not that.
Shallow,
Yes.
you are a snob. Straight and
look,
true.
I'm
Snob.
I'm agreeing with you, but I don't diss games purely for graphics. It does play a huge
Minecraft.
role in my
Minecraft.
taste of games.
Minecraft.
You absolutely dissed Minecraft purely because of the graphics,
Minecraft.
and you have said that to me before.
And
You
I
have
am
said
standing by that right now. I'm not denying it. Yes, I have said that.
Minecraft is amazing.
And it wasn't just because of the graphics are these graphics, it was the style. Everything is a fucking square. I hate that.
Yes.
When we used to first start playing 7 Days to Die, their graphics in terms of pixel, like the pixels were not much better than Minecraft. When I first started playing 7 Days to Die, it was almost exactly the same as Minecraft, but worse. There was less to do there than Minecraft, and there still is to this day, right?
Minecraft has better graphics than Valheim.
Yes,
Good.
love Valheim. I thought the graphics were beautiful.
Yeah, I agree with that. Minecraft's more beautiful.
It's not just graphics; it's graphics and something else. Graphics do start that. I mean, graphics push the boulder and it picks up moss as it goes, right? The snowball builds, right? But graphics by itself is a big thing for me. But there's always things that get attached to the boulder which end up making it shit for me. And the two big things for me with Minecraft were the graphics combined with everything's a fucking brick. And then the third thing was, for some reason, 5-year-olds find this absolutely phenomenal, and it's all over YouTube.
Kami, everything's just a brick. What's your house made of?
Don't.
Dude, did you like Tekken and Tekken 2?
I got
Do
in
you
the
not
first
remember how everything was a square, even the women's boobs?
the first Tekken game I played was Tekken Tag Tournament. So between Tekken 2 and 3.
Ew.
Ew.
But
Look
still,
at one of my favorite games of all time, Final Fantasy VII. Everything is pretty square there, but it's not because it intentionally is square. It's because that was the limitation of the hardware. It's not a
Final Fantasy
choice.
VII is beautiful. I should play that more.
Anyway, look, Animal Crossing. I see what you're trying to do. You were prepared for Minecraft.
That was the game. I knew that.
Oh dear. Anyway,
Stardew Valley's better.
I've got Animal Crossing. I've tried playing it. I do agree that it doesn't really have that much to it. If you want to have a game where you're actually doing something, you can move to multiple others that will give you the itch you want to scratch kind of thing. Like, I know that you said you didn't like it, but like Stardew Valley, you have to admit that it's at least a good game.
the reason I picked Animal Crossing was because I knew more about it. I didn't have enough knowledge on Stardew Valley to go down the rabbit hole and say I don't like it. The main reason I ended up picking Animal Crossing because I knew
I
more
didn't
about
mind
it.
Stardew Valley.
I don't
Yeah,
like
I
dissing
enjoyed
things that
it.
I haven't got a decent grasp on because it's unfair.
With Animal
I try
Crossing,
not to anyway.
there's a few things. I've played it a bit. It's okay. I don't like how you can only have one save file per Switch. And I've also recently found out that the game guilt trips you if you take a break from the game. And the village is like, I don't like how it's trying to force you to play daily.
Yeah.
What do you mean it guilt trips you?
They go full where have you been mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the lines, if you haven't played in a while, I watched a video where someone found a really old save file of theirs. One of their villagers came up to them and said, I thought I've been dreaming for the last 5 years.
Anyway.
Like,
It is
the game
capitalism.
guilt
The
trips you
game.
for not playing. I don't like that about the game.
But
Anyway.
yeah, it is literally capitalism. The game.
Yes.
Oh, the game's perfect then.
Alrighty. Any final comments?
We have that on Xbox, by the way. We have all the DLC on Xbox.
Thank you.
So play on Xbox because it's better on Xbox as well.
Okay. No, well, one final thought. Kami.
Yep.
I'm scared, man.
Why?
Because you and I didn't disagree on anything tonight, and it's kind of making me uneasy.
Well, apart from our Minecraft debate, but
Yeah, but that's been going on for years. That's nothing new.
Ginger has a final comment, and that is Tegan is wrong about Elden Ring.
About what?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Anyway,
So triggered someone tonight.
To summarize tonight, Mitch, what were your two games?
My two games that we got to were The Last of Us and Call of Duty.
Tegan?
I would like to give an honourable mention to anything from EA Sports.
Tegan, what were your two?
My two were any GTA and Elden Ring. I would like to give an honourable mention to Fortnite.
Joey?
Mine were Heroes of the Storm and League of Legends. And
if you could give an honourable mention?
Apex.
Apex? It's a good honourable mention. Alright, mine were Halo Infinite and Animal Crossing. And Animal Crossing, and I would have, if I was to give a, I would have to give an honourable mention to, no, you've said EA games. I'm gonna whatever, Minecraft. I'm gonna put it in there. Why not? All right, so thank you.
Yes. This stream is brought to you by the worst game of them all, Raid Shadow Legends.
Hey Siri, how long does it take to walk to Kami's house from here?
Interesting. All right, so I will be For those watching this archived,
Unnecessary.
this video most likely won't be on YouTube until 2023. So if you're watching this on YouTube, what I'm about to say has already hopefully taken place. And that is between now, which is the 27th of November, and let's say mid-December. I don't know. I'm not going to put a date in, but let's say mid-December. I'm going to put a state of play video up, for lack of better terminology, or a plan for 2023 with plans for the channel, what's going to stay, what's going to go, examples. I want to bring back my gaming videos, only stuff that's good enough. Like, I'm doing a lot of let's play stuff, which is super casual, and I'm not talking much here at the moment when it comes to gameplay because I'm just getting into the story. I want to bring things back like what Mitch and I were doing with Halo, right, on other games. I want to, bring back some of our larger scale multiplayer playthrough things, right, of like Valheim, for example. Timing is difficult because we've all got families, but I want to try and bring that stuff back where possible.
What? Valheim.
Yeah.
Viking Queen lives again.
2023, I'm going to start inviting guests here to hear us out. I know I've already had 2, but those 2 legends, Taylor a fortnight ago and Joey tonight, both had less than 1 hour prep coming into these videos. They are both absolute legends. Joey, if you're comfortable, this is on the spot. This was not brought up beforehand, so I apologize. You have a YouTube channel, sir.
Yes.
Are you comfortable sharing said YouTube channel?
Yes.
What is it? Where can these people find you?
Flame Dark Portal.
Type in Flame Dark Portal to YouTube. Watch this guy's stuff. Got 2 videos out there at the moment?
Yeah.
Mm.
One almost an hour, one 6 minutes.
Excellent. So find Joey over on YouTube.
He's just waiting for some better equipment to upload some others.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I can't really record without my mic because this one's not very good.
yeah, fair.
The one I've got on my head.
Once he gets underway, he's just gonna straight to the top. Otherwise, naturally, you've got all my YouTube and Discord stuff. If you want to keep up to date with my announcements, so everything that I will be doing, there'll be in-depth breakdowns on Discord. Otherwise, a video will be up hopefully within the next 2.5, 3 weeks on YouTube with a verbal announcement of what's happening. So in short, what I'll say now, I want to bring my gaming videos such as highlights, look at my Borderlands highlights or my Halo 3 highlights as to what I want to try and get back into. Thanks, Mitch. Yep. I'm going to get guests on here that actually have a heads up on the topic.
That does help a little bit.
Yep. I've already notified some people that I'd like to come in for guests next year. So hopefully we'll get that going. Tegan is just a green screen. But yeah, so that's part of the plan moving forward. But anyway, I'll leave that there because I could ramble on for a while. I'm not going to turn this into that because I want to actually write a script and get this out effectively. So, in short, I want to thank the 3 of you for being here, and doing this. I know this topic was tough for the 3 of you. Behind this little bit of sneak peek behind the scenes, we changed the subject tonight multiple times to make it easier to come up with options and topics. And I thank all 3 of you for being flexible on that. These guys are putting up a lot of my push for things like subjects and matter and stuff at the moment. So thank these guys, all 3 of these guys. We never found out who was the Ditto, but that's beside the point. What is going on with Deacon?
The funniest thing was that the eyes popped up.
I know, right? But also,
we never found out who was the Ditto. Eyes.
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, thanks for that. Thank you, Ginger, for almost single-handedly 98% keeping the chat going solid tonight. And thank you for the sub, Ginger. Yeah, absolute legend. And thank you to everyone else who popped in as well. We had someone pop in asking if they wanted to say a joke, and I said fire away, but they never got around to it. Sorry, Mint Soldiers, sorry about that. Say fire away, but all good. Matt, made an appearance for 5 seconds, then fucked off, but whatever.
You have to ban Ginger.
What do you say?
Hang on, if I time him out, it'll delete all of his comments. But I won't
What
do
did
that.
Gin-
I won't do that.
No,
Anyway,
What did
look,
Ginger say?
I don't know, sec.
I don't think your mother could actually articulate those words in
No, I
that.
couldn't. I
No.
can't say those things in the same sentence. I'll explode.
But anyway, I need to wrap this up. So thank you for the subscription, Ginger. For anyone watching this on YouTube, thank you for clicking the link in the first place. Same thing here on Twitch. Thank you for clicking the video at all. For those watching archived, do you agree with our picks? Do you not? On YouTube, write down the comments. What are your two unpopular opinions on popular games? So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking the link in the first place. Thanks for everyone here for being involved. But most importantly, thank you for hearing us out. Till
See you
next time.
next time.
Ciao.
Bye.